Hello and welcome. I want to give a shout out to Weird City Citizen who commented. I think he commented on the last video. I didn't see that. I appreciate that very much. So I wanted to talk about this story. The Dayton shooter, this is from CNN. Dayton shooter had cocaine in his system, coroner says. So guess what? Now they're going to blame cocaine. They're going to do anything. They're going to blame the amazing cocaine. That's a great drug, and they're going to blame that. They're going to blame anything they can before they blame before they blame guns. The man who opened fire on a crowded bar district in Dayton, Ohio, had cocaine in his system, the coroner said Thursday. Cocaine, anti-anxiety medication, and alcohol were found in Connor Bett's blood during the autopsy, Montgomery County Coroner Kent Hirschberger said at a press conference. Preliminary autopsy results also found that two of the victims were also struck by police bullets, he said. So that whole theory that, wow. Well, okay, I take that back. You do want the police to have guns, but that does kind of feed into the fact that the idea that guns versus guns doesn't necessarily solve the problem. Yeah, cocaine is I'm on the straight and narrow now, and I hope that I never touch a drug again. I've experimented with a lot of them in the past, and the two that I'm going to miss are MDMA and cocaine. I'm going to miss those ones. Cocaine was just, if you've never tried it, you should absolutely try it. And completely different from marijuana. Completely different. With marijuana, this is how I like to describe it. Marijuana, you feel like you're going to have a heart attack and die. With cocaine, you probably will have a heart attack and die, but you're not going to feel that way. You're going to feel, that you're invincible. It's so strange like that. I was completely paranoid under marijuana, but cocaine I wasn't. But I was in probably a lot more jeopardy on cocaine. And one of my favorite experiences was maybe I shouldn't say this. Well, I'm not working there anymore. I was working at a hotel, and my wife and I, we were about to go to San Francisco, a couple days from going to San Francisco. And of course, marijuana is legal in Colorado. And one of the housekeepers, assistant manager of the housekeeping department, I think it was him. Somebody put these edibles, these chocolate wafers or white chocolate wafers of edible marijuana in the lost and found department. And I went down there. I was looking for something for a guest, and I see this. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and hide that. So I put it in the very back, so that way maybe I could get to it later. And a day before we're going to leave, I go back down to housekeeping, and I look, and it's still there. Not 20 minutes later, I'm back at the front desk. This gentleman calls the front desk. Let's call him Omar. And he says, what should we, he said, he asked for the head of housekeeping, that his superior, the housekeeping manager. I can't remember what was her name. I can't remember what her name was. But he asked to speak to her. And then I said, well, she's not here. Is there anything I can help you with? What should we do if we find drugs? He asked me. And I said, well, what floor are you on? Let me take a look at it. So I go up to he was on the 5th floor. I go up to the 5th floor. He has a little baggie, one of those little baggies with a white substance in it. And I said, I'll take care of this. I'll get rid of this for you. And I went to the restroom, and I touched it, and I put it to my tongue, and it wasn't meth. I could tell it had that distinctive taste. And went home, Went home, took it home because my wife she's adamantly against drugs. I would be in a lot of trouble. Weird City is commenting here. He said, I experiment. I don't know. Maybe well, he's saying it on YouTube, so you can all see this anyway. I experimented too. DMT, never tried that one. But it was one of maybe the greatest day of my life. The greatest day of my life. Went home, did the edibles that night, the marijuana, was like convulsing in the bed. I was like, it was really having an effect on me. If you don't think marijuana is a powerful drug, think again. And that morning, we're about ready to go to the airport. I go into the restroom. I run the shower. I'm like freaking out. If my wife finds me, it's deep, deep trouble. And I pour like half the bag. There had to be, I'm not good with the measurements, but a half a gram. The bag was half full. I'm not good with the measurements. I haven't, I never got so involved with it, but the bag was like half full. So I poured like half the bag, did a couple lines, got into the shower, then got dressed. We go to the airport, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Like, this is great. This is great. But I'm still worried about going through security. You do have those paranoid thoughts going through security. I mean, it's, what are the odds they're going to be able to find it, in your nose or whatever? But, oh, no, this is before we went to security. We go to this thing called the parking spot. It's this parking area by Denver International Airport. And I still have a little, I hid it in my shoe. The worst thing that I would rather have the police find me than my wife. And watch the trailer for Gaspar Noé's new movie Climax. I think you will appreciate that movie. I will. And they have a little bathroom area. They have a little office at the parking spot. And I go into the bathroom, pour the rest of it out, go to the airport. We go to this one restaurant/bar at the airport called Jimmy's, and just had an amazing time, drinking beers, just great. And I think I was annoying the people around me a little bit, because you do get a little, you have that dopamine release, and you do get a little overconfident. I looked around because I was talking a lot, and I think I was annoying some of the people who worked there. Went to San Francisco, still feeling it on the plane, drinking heavily on the plane, just had Weird City citizen. It was just the best time of my life. And yes, I will never do drugs again. I will never do drugs again, but I will miss cocaine, and I will miss MDMA. I will not miss MDMA as much. As fun as it was, you're not always getting the pure stuff. And even if you are, it's that release of serotonin, and it's there's a lot of depression there, but you don't get that as much with cocaine. It's you're mainly messing with your heart. So you don't feel the hangover as much. Great time. And Weird City, I am going to look into that movie. Trail for Gaspar Noé's new movie Climax. Experimenting for science, exactly. Weird City, thank you so much for joining me. We're gonna hopefully get an iPhone again here soon, and we're gonna be able to go out into the field and get some hopefully more interesting videos. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.